This is Jayson King here with JK Junior. We're here today installing a JK Junior on a wellhead, just to go through the procedure. This is Dave Bayerle with Malibu. He's the crew foreman, and he'll go through the safety procedures that we'll follow today. In order JK Containment Junior, this is how they come. They come in a box. Packed in the box is 2 liters of oil, the JK Junior. Okay, on the inside of the JK Junior is all the hardware you need to install it. Comes with the fittings, instructions, a manual, and a description of parts. Comes with your high level switch. It's a nice little flow to activate level switch. In the fittings, it comes with a bushing. Because your sight glass holes, so comes with a switch, the bushing, 1.5 by 2 inch bushing. So go in there. 1 inch bleed off. It shows a 1 inch configuration if you have chunks to push through. It's a larger port to clean out the containment. It goes in the bottom as shown in the instructions. 2 bolts and nuts to install the JK Junior to the wellhead. It comes with a neoprene gasket, the lock, washer, and the square nuts. So this comes with a felt, and the felt fits all sizes, and it will need to be cut depending on the size of your polish rod. I designed the JK Junior with sight glasses to check fluid level, and it's also set up in a way depending on your well design. If you want to have your sight glass pointed out there with your level switch off to the side, if your well piping fits here. If you want it like this, with your switch out to the back, with your sight glass there, as if your well piping faces here. And then if you want to switch the sight glass, and if you want to switch the float and the sight glass around, you can. So it can fit all different well configurations.
We're going to do our job safety analysis here. Okay, point, we got Jayson down here. Our contact will be Scott case emergency. We've done all our underground lines, overhead power, everything else. We're going to be using a man basket, so we'll be lifting. We'll have a harness on. All right, our muster point is at our entrance by the lease over there. Everybody's got to sign up in here and we'll be good to go.
This particular well has a no tap tool downhole, so we're going to go through the procedure without setting rods on bottom and to install the JK Junior. Right now we'll go through the procedure of testing of the brake before we take the weight of the rod string, and we'll go through the lockout tagout procedure. So right now we'll go through the lockout tagout procedure to get well control on the well. Now we'll go through the procedure of taking the weight off the rod string.
Get these nice and tight till you see the rubber squish out so it seals. And the mating surface will be flat underneath. There we go. Perfect. Feed it in. If you're in a smaller rod circumference or a larger one, you can poke this in with an extension. Might have to trim this one. It's tight. Yeah, because they're made for 1.25" or 1.5", see? This is wrong. Trying to get this in this way and fold it down. Okay? Check my wrap. Nice and snug. Just tell me if I get my wick started in there, Brady. Yep. You want it snug, because once it goes into that groove, it'll pull back. And you can see the felt will slide in. I'm going to fold this felt down. Fold the wick down, have it in place, just like so. Flat one first. Yep. Regular cone. Side, a little bit. Okay, back side. Good? Ready? Okay, we're good.
So now he's installing the lube oil. I usually put 2 liters of oil in it, and it'll bring it up halfway up to the sight glass. So you can see the oil coming in there. As you can see, it's just underneath that level there.
Okay, slowly open, check for leaks. Yeah, that's how you check, make sure your packing's not leaking. Got it.
We're going to rotate the rod string to check spacing between the JK Junior and the rod clamp. Clear. Yep. Yeah, we're good. Good? Yep. Now we'll show putting the stool in, take the rod string weight off again to set the top clamp. So now you can see we have all the weight.
Okay, clear, coming. 6 inches, 4 inches, 3 inches, 2, 1. Okay, let it roll back if it will. Good, brakes.
So right now they're closing the radicals for well control.
Close them evenly. And snug. Watch our pressure gauges. We will lead this off. Ground or fill.
There might be some gas come off this.
Make sure you're always upwind. Yeah. Just gonna check, make sure it's open. Okay. Good. Prove it's dead. Gauges, 2 gauges, below 0.
Design of the JK Junior allows for easy access to the stuffing box and stuffing box bolts.
Okay, both lines out to the box. There we go. Off we go. There. I got her. Can you go up to the top? Not there. Bring this up. Put mine in my hole. Get yours. Just like so. Yeah. See how we got that top one?
Pull that out.
This one goes with it. This one. Okay. The just of us that we took the 2 bolts, took it up, right? Okay, back on that side here. Just got it. She's yours. See that, Pat? I said that. That is awesome.
So that was a packing change with the JK Junior. Right now I'm going to pour drinking water against the rod string to simulate rainwater to demonstrate that the rainwater doesn't go into the containment. And you see how the dust cap and the packing is shedding the water. None is coming in. Is there? So there was 1.5 liters of water. And you see how it's shedding. As you see, the oil level hasn't changed. You can see how the rod string is being oiled and the rainwater is beating on the polish rod. So right now I have 2 liters of oil in there for lube oil, and now I'm going to add another liter of oil to show a packing leak. So there, showed the well kicking out. I had to add 1.3 liters. We'll bleed oil off to show the switch firing on again. Now we'll show lifting the lid. So just remove the safety latches, pop them, and there the lid lifts. For clean out or what have you. Now I'm going to simulate wax in a waxy well. People have asked if a waxy well spills into here if it's going to hold down the float. I think that the wax will displace the oil and the oil will rise and flick the switch off. So right now I'm showing that the switch is in the on position. So now you can see I've added 2 liters to simulate wax, and the wax has displaced the oil, and which is switching the switch off. That was a demonstration for installing a JK Junior. I'd like to go through some of the benefits of it too, as of stopping wellhead leaks and carrying on well control. Operators are telling me that they're doubling the life of their packing with the lube system, which I think is a very beneficial thing too. And it's keeping your polish rod cool on those pump off situations, which would help the life of your polish rod also. Thank you, and play safe.